This video is going to be all about Google Tools. My name is Debbie Bourne. I am a helping teacher in Abbotsford and I work with digital learning. I'd like you to start in Google Chrome, so please launch your Chrome browser. And we're going to go to our learn34.com page. This is Abbotsford's launch page. This is where we're going to start. We notice this for staff is going to be a place you'll find other great resources. But right now we're going to look at Learn34 Google and see the drop down arrow. We're going to go to Drive, but this is also where you could go to Classroom. You could also just start by typing in drive.google.com and it would also take you to Drive. When it's bringing you in, you're going to need to sign in. And that's usually done over here on the side. Please make sure you're logging in with your Learn34 account when you are working at school. Please do not add accounts here. It will mess up your browser. Rather, you will later find an area on the top where you can click on your name and manage accounts. But today we're all about all things Google. I'd like you to direct your attention to the plus arrow that says new. If you would go ahead and just make a new folder, and you can call this grade 7 or whatever grade you happen to teach, and create it. And then if you go ahead and move to that folder, and it's going to be alphabetical, click in the folder and we're going to make a new Google Doc. This is where we're going to spend a lot of time today. In Google Docs, there is an arrow you can choose blank or from a template. I'd encourage you to explore all the templates later. They have things like book reports and all kinds of different presentation things you can use, but we're just going to look at a blank document. I'm going to call it my test doc. And unlike other programs where you have to save, in Google, all you need to do is type your title and then come up here into this block where it says Untitled Document and click in it, and automatically your name will show up there. And right away it shows you the folder that you are stored in. If you go ahead and type a few things in here, I like to learn. My favorite animal is an elephant. And they are cool. I'm obviously working on my writing skills. You'll notice here if we have an item that is underlined in red, if we right click on it, or if you're on a Chromebook, you're going to go control click. It's going to give us some options. Did you mean favorite? Yes, I did. And it's going to fix it. You can, of course, do all the things like you could on other programs by exploring all of these up here at the top, where you can change your font, you can change your size, you can change your color, you can change whether you've centered it or left justified it or right justified. You can also undo anything you just did or redo it. You can change your size of your line spacing right over here on this side too. Some really cool features are going to be here in Tools. I'm going to go back to black for a minute. In the Tools, we have a dictionary option. When we click on that, it pops up here. So if I want to know what an elephant is, I'm going to get a definition right away with parts of speech, the whole deal. I can also click right down here in the bottom where you see this little plus icon. If you jump on it, it says Explore. It's right here. It's also in the Tools menu under Explore. Either one will take you there. And this turns into your automatic Google search over here. Because I already said something about elephants, it intuitively knows that I'm looking for an elephant. I could find an elephant and just drag a picture or drag it in. This is an important thing to just look at, is that once you bring it in, a link shows up here at the bottom. Images on Google they want us to be able to use them, but we still need to cite our sources of where we get these from. And so if you click on it, it's going to bring you to a page that will tell you under the picture here something all about the animal or about this source. If not, it shows this on the side, CC0 Creative Commons. This is free for commercial use, no attribution required. I would usually like the kids somehow to highlight that and be able to, or put that back into their document, that this was Creative Commons free. I like to also, after I've picked this up and checked on whether it was free for use, I click on wrap text because I can move it. And then maybe just right underneath it, I might say something about Creative Commons free. And then I'll just move that over underneath my image later on. A couple other things you can do is you can insert a table. So if you hover over however big you want your table to be, a table will show up. You can type in these, you can click on one, and you can change with a paint can, you can change it. And you'll notice right now there is no paint can. When we have this open, it's taking up more space, and so there is a more button here, but I'm just going to open it or close these both out so that more of our options show up. And here I can pick my paint can and change so that I'm going to have different color in these. You might want these for different kinds of labeling that kids could do. Another very important one is in Tools. This is called our voice typing. If I click on voice type, the very first time I will have to enable my microphone, but otherwise it's ready to go. And if I click on it, I'm just going to change this back to black color here. If I click on this, and I'm going to make it bigger so you can see what I'm doing. Here's my microphone. Oh, I have to allow my microphone. My name is Debbie Bourne, period. I am a teacher in Abbotsford, period. Using the voice typing tool really saves me a lot of time and helps me not to have to worry about my spelling mistakes, period. I do, of course, have to worry about using punctuation marks, period. But I don't have to worry about capital letters, exclamation mark. And you notice how that quickly followed what I was doing. It, of course, makes some mistakes and it's called me Debbie Boring instead of Debbie Bourne. That really is quite funny. So you will have to go back and fix a few things. That really big highlight about Google is the ability to share. In this, if you don't ever click your share button, it is private and you can't just send the link for this to someone else without giving them permission, so you have to share. Click on the blue button and you can type, in our district, you can go ahead and type a name in, and these would be other teachers, so if you're looking for who you might want to share with, this will show up. If you see the pencil beside here, that means that I'm giving this other teacher the ability to edit. I can also change it to Can View. I only want them to take a look at it, but I don't want them to mess around with it. They could make comments for me too. I can leave a comment here for them to look at, and then I can send it. That's all great. So if you're working with a group of students and one person takes charge and makes something and shares it with the rest of the group, you wonder, how do I find it? So if you go back to Drive, you're going to see underneath My Drive that there's something called Shared with Me. If you click there, you will find right at the top anything that has been shared with you. So that's a phenomenal use and ability to collaborate. Let's go look at what else we can do. If we click on the new button, we can also make a slide presentation. This is much like PowerPoint. We'll call it a name, presentation. And again, I can just click up in the top here and my title will show up. I have themes that I can pick on the side here. Let's say I chose this one here and I decide to add a slide. If I just pick add, it will randomly just add a new presentation from the layout. But if I click the little arrow, I could pick any of these. So maybe I'd like this one next, and then I'd like a side by side. And I have a lot of ability to change things around. Within here, on one of mine, if I decide that's not really the color that I want, even though it's part of the theme, I can change the background. There's a color right here. Maybe I can make it red. And I have to say done if I want it to. I can add another one in here, and I could also change this to an image. And if I choose this, there are different ones that I could search by just by going to look, and I could type in a word that I'm looking for, maybe beach, and some backgrounds will come up here. And these are all labeled for commercial reuse with modification. So these are free for me to take a look at and use on here. It would be a great idea to jump in and still leave after we find out about the image, leave something to cite where this came from, and you can add a title into your presentation. As a teacher, if you are using Google Classroom, you can create a blank presentation, load it into Classroom assignment, and change it to students can edit. Each student can have their own slide that they have to add on and maybe leave some kind of information. Perhaps you want them to take a picture of something they just learned about, so they could do image, and they could do image right from the camera. Picture will show up of what they've just worked on. They take a picture of their item, they insert it, and then maybe they're going to leave a core competency reflection about how they communicated in this topic, or in this assignment. So you can see how this could be really valuable as a place to keep track of a lot of learning. But what I also love is that students can then be required to go and comment on other peers' work by clicking another slide and just using a couple of clicks. Control-Alt-M will be a way that they can comment on somebody else's work, and it's a chance for us to teach them to respond and to give feedback with academic language. So I love slides. They can do so much more than just be a PowerPoint. You can also insert video. So if you've got a link of something that you've actually made and you stored it in Google Drive, it's as simple as finding your video and inserting it. So I have a video here that I want to select, and it comes in. I can resize it. I can go and just search for a YouTube video that I'd like to add in, because I know I've seen something. The possibilities are quite endless here. Let's go back into Drive and just show you a couple others. So under New, you could do Sheets, which are much like Excel. Great way to teach kids to organize information. You could also check out Google Forms, Google Drawings, My Maps, Google Sites. These are all ones that I highly recommend that you check out for your practice, because they have a lot of potential to impact student learning. Hope you've enjoyed learning about Google tools.